you dealing with elbow pain during the bench press? Well, then you came to the right place because I'm going to show you exactly how to overcome it. Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Michael Mash with Barbell Rehab. Welcome to episode 3 of Whiteboard Wednesday.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you're on YouTube, hit the alert notification.
Today we're going to talk about elbow pain during the bench press, something that I've personally dealt with and helped people overcome. And when it comes down to it, it can be really frustrating because it can take a while. Because what it ends up usually being is what's called a triceps tendinopathy, or that dreaded pain right on the point of your elbow. Now, there's a couple different things you can do to work around this, and I'm going to walk you through it. So, if you're having this elbow, and for today's discussion, we'll specifically stick with the case of a triceps tendinopathy. Now, if you're dealing with this during the bench press, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to try and widen your grip a bit. Now, what this does is by widening the grip, you're going to also increase the shoulder abduction angle, which is going to put the pecs in a better place to create tension. So this will help offload the elbow a little bit and put more stress on the pecs. This may be a good idea if you're currently dealing with elbow pain, because we know that when you're dealing with pain, in the beginning phases, it may be a good idea to temporarily limit stress. The first thing I want you to try and do if you're dealing with elbow pain during the bench press is widen the grip a bit. If that doesn't help, the next thing you want to do is you want to slow down the tempo a little bit. If you're going to remember anything about tendons, is TNT. Tendons like tempo. You wind the grip on the bench press, the next thing you're going to do is slow down the motion. The current recommendations for tendinopathy is based on a protocol called heavy slow resistance training. So what I want you to do is, for the tempo, I want you to slowly lower it for 3 seconds and then slowly press it up for 3 seconds. You're going to keep this in the 8 to 10 rep range, because what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to continue to get a training effect at a lower intensity because you're increasing the tempo. So don't think that you can just jump right in with tempo bench presses with the weights you were using with your regular speed. They are a little bit humbling, so you will have to decrease the weight. See if running a cycle of slow tempo, wider gripped bench presses can help overcome your pain in the elbow during the bench press. So those are my first 2 lines of defense. If you're still having issues, we need to dig deeper and you need to find out which modification of the movement is going to help you the best. Sometimes this is hurting right at lockout. So for example, you bring the bar down and the elbow doesn't hurt until right at lockout. In that case, you might want to temporarily avoid that lockout position for a period of 4 to 6 weeks. So you're still going to bench press, you're just going to do more of a soft lockout, right? So you're not aggressively locking out the elbow. It just goes along with our principle of, if your body's having trouble adapting to a movement and it's painful, you may need to temporarily remove the aggravating factor or the aggravating part of the movement. So in that case, you're going to want to run slow tempo bench presses while just temporarily avoiding that lockout of the elbow. Once the elbow starts to calm down, you can gradually reintroduce it. On the other hand, sometimes the triceps tendinopathy only hurts when the elbow is flexed. In other words, at the bottom of the bench press, because of the way the tendon is sort of compressing over that olecranon process. So if that's your case, if you're fine at lockout, but you're having trouble or pain with the elbow fully flexed, this may be a good chance to remove the bottom portion of the bench press by doing either a pin press variation or a floor press variation. It's all based on what kind of symptoms you're dealing with, pain at the top versus pain at the bottom. So if you're having pain at the bottom, you want to remove that bottom position. Now, so those can all be done with the barbell. If no matter what you do, you can't find a barbell bench pressing variation, whether it's removing the lockout or removing the bottom portion that you can tolerate, you may need to temporarily switch to a dumbbell benching variation. The dumbbell benching variation is going to give you more freedom to select that exact, what I call arm slot or degree of shoulder abduction that you can tolerate. And naturally, because they're dumbbells, it'll be a little bit easier to not have to lock them out at the top of each rep. If you tried widening the grip on the bench, you tried slowing it down, and you tried removing the top or bottom portion, you may need to temporarily train a dumbbell benching variation with either limiting the bottom or top portion. Basically, you're just seeing if you can find a horizontal pressing variation that your elbow can tolerate, and then you load it. Because it's a triceps tendinopathy, we know that tendinopathies tend to respond well to isolating them out and loading them. So, in addition to all this, I would recommend doing a slow, it can either be done unilateral, one arm or two arms, triceps push downs. You can either do them with a rope or you can do them with a straight bar. Now, the same principles are going to apply with where does it hurt. If you have pain at full elbow flexion, you may only want to do bottom partial range of motion tricep press downs or push downs. If, on the other hand, you're having pain at the bottom, you may want to do partial range in the top. The idea is just to load that tendon in a tolerable fashion. So that's what you can sprinkle in to directly load it. If you've done, see, all these things here are ways to modify it. Once we get down to step 4 is when we start to poke the bear to see if we can cause the adaptation. Another thing that you can try if you're struggling with this is you can try and poke the bear a bit and just do end range tricep press down lockout isometric holds. Whew, that's a mouthful. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to do a tricep press down and you're going to fully lock out and you're going to hold it there for a period of 15 to 20 seconds. You're going to do this for about 3 to 5 reps, okay? Because it's been shown that isometric loading can help reduce pain. It has an analgesic effect. So if that's the case, what you can do, again, tricep press down, lock it out, hold it there. It's okay to experience a little bit of discomfort during this movement, mainly up to a 3 or 4 out of 10, as long as you're not dealing with a flare-up the next day. That's your goal. When you're looking at tendinopathies, tendons don't like to let you know you did too much until the day after. It's that whole, oh boy, I'm gonna pay for this later. So you can directly load it. So that's what I sort of go through, the process I go through if I'm working with somebody that's dealing with elbow pain during the bench press. Widen the grip to deload the triceps a bit, slow the tempo down, modify the movement by either removing the top portion or the bottom portion or doing dumbbells. And then on the side, you're gonna either isotonically, which is actually go through the reps, or isometrically load it to tease it out to cause that permanent tendon adaptation you're looking for. Thanks for watching this week's week 3 of Whiteboard Wednesday.